We walked through valleys and we've walked on mountaintops, looking for rivers. Once we almost stopped, but we kept on walking. We felt the hunger and we felt the pain, thirsting for water and praying for rain. I'm glad we kept on walking. Here's to today, here's to tomorrow, here's to our love from which we will borrow. Here's to forever, to you and to me. Here's to tasting the sun, 'cause the best is yet to come. The best is yet to come. The pink sky is burning as our story's told. The pages are turning, we're watching it unfold. Let's keep on chasing.
Baby, last night was hands down one of the best nights that I've had, no doubt. Between the bottle of wine and the look in your eyes and the Marvin Gaye, then we danced in the dark under September stars in the pouring rain. And I know that I can't ever tell you enough that all I need in this life is your crazy love. If I never get to see the northern lights, or if I never get to see the Eiffel Tower at night, or if all I got is your hand in my hand, baby, I could die a happy man. Happy man, baby. Baby, that red dress brings me to my knees. Oh, but that black dress makes it hard to breathe. You're a saint, you're a goddess, the cutest, the hottest, a masterpiece. It's too good to be true, nothing better than you in my wildest dreams. And I know that I can't ever tell you enough that all I need in this life is your crazy love. If I never get to see the northern lights, or if I never get to see the Eiffel Tower at night, or if all I got is your hand in my hand, baby, I could die a happy man, yeah.
A good evening, a very good evening. I want to go on record as saying that as Lindsey's mom, and now having the best son-in-law in the whole wide world in Anson, that I am a tad biased. But was that not a beautiful ceremony and heartfelt exchange of vows? Just beautiful. In addition to California, we have family and friends here from Arizona, Colorado, Michigan, Massachusetts, and New York. And on behalf of Paul and Nancy and Tom and myself, and with a heart just full of joy, I want to welcome you all, and I want to thank you for being here with your love, your support, and your best wishes as Lindsey and Anson begin this next chapter in their lives as husband and wife. Enjoy your evening.
I met Lindsey in law school. We were in the same track together, which means we took all of the same classes together. And initially, we didn't really talk to each other. I think we were both a little suspicious of there being another Lindsey in the world, and so we just really wanted to avoid that. But I can remember vividly our first real interaction. We were walking from property up to LRW as a class, and Lindsey turned to me and asked if I wanted to go to lunch. And I was surprised because we'd never talked. And I thought it was weird because it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I like food, so I was like, why not? So I agreed, and we went to lunch, and it was fantastic. And it's weird to me that I can remember that in such perfect detail because it was really just a passing moment. I mean, it was just a lunch invitation. And perhaps it's my ego, but I like to think that the reason I filed it away in my memory was that I knew that this was an important moment. I knew that this was the start of something special. And oh, how special it's been. Having Lindsey as a best friend the last 6 years has been incredible. With Lindsey, I eat a lot more macaroni and cheese. I watch a lot more HGTV. And I have introduced ice cream into a weekday activity, which it had never really been before. And clearly all of this means that I am a happier, better person. But Lindsey has made my life better in other ways. I was a better student because Lindsey every semester mapped out all of our classes for us. Even if we weren't taking the same classes, she would make my schedule too, which was greatly appreciated. And if I'm being completely honest, she did all of our reading for us and then so graciously shared those notes. I am a better lawyer because I had such a steadfast competition and encouragement in law school. And I had somebody to share a hotel room with during the bar who would sit there and eat pie every night and encourage us to take the test the next day because we really had to talk each other into that. I'm a better employee because I have Lindsey to send emails to when I'm stressed or when I'm bored or when I have a thought I need to share with someone, and she's there so that I can get back to work. But perhaps most importantly, someday I will be a better wife because I have seen from the front row Lindsey and Anson and the way they love each other. And that is a lesson, like so many other lessons that she's given me, that has just been passed on. As many of you probably know, Lindsey, after law school, went to University of Miami to get her LLM. And having your person that far away is really hard. We talked and communicated frequently, but after seeing each other every day for 3 years, it wasn't the same. And out of all of our communications, the one that stands out the most vividly was the first time that Lindsey really mentioned Anson. And it was a quick conversation. We were both heading somewhere, but she wanted to share that she'd met a guy, she'd reconnected with a guy, and she thought that this was something I needed to know. And just as several years earlier, it filed away in my memory. I think I knew that this was a very important moment, and it was really the start of something special. And oh, how special your relationship has been. The two of you go on more adventures than probably anyone I know. You guys fill your weekends with movies and trips and dinners and classes and just activity. It feels like we can never find you. But more than that, you fill your everydays with just the joy of being together. And I would say that I am at your house, probably conservative estimate, once a week, easily. And it is those days after work, we're trying to figure out what to eat, what to watch, how the day was, that gives the greatest insight into your relationship. And on an ordinary, normal, every day, the two of you make each other laugh, and you light up, and you think, and you inspire each other and encourage each other and offer sometimes a needed dose of reality to each other. And quite frankly, I couldn't ask for anything more for my best friend. Lindsey and I, we may not have grown up together, and When we were little, we didn't play dress up together or imagine what our weddings would look like someday together. We don't have any joint memories before the age of 22. And I found in life that that doesn't matter. She is no less a best friend simply because our lives started later together. We know more about each other than we probably should. We have laughed together, we've cried together. We have moments that only we think are funny, and ultimately that's what makes a best friend. And it doesn't matter that we didn't imagine our weddings together when we were little, because I have no doubt we would have never imagined a day as perfect as today. And it certainly doesn't matter that we never imagined who we would marry together someday, because I have no doubt we would have never dreamed of the chemistry the two of you have, which is so much more than just a spark of passion, but instead a centering, really, and a calming that this is my person, and this is the one I want to spend the rest of my life with. And so, standing up here in front of all you guys, and I'm realizing I don't have anything to wish for them, because ultimately they've already found it. And so on what has really been a beautiful day, which is really just a continuation of a beautiful life that they've already started and will continue together, I find myself only wishing that it just continue the way it's already started. So congratulations, and I love you. And to the new Mr. and Mrs. Kane. Cheers. Cheers, love you.
First off, I want to thank everyone who had made this amazing day possible, especially Anson's parents, Tom and Nancy, Lindsay's parents, Paul and Karen, all the family and friends that are here tonight too. I'm especially glad to be here today to celebrate this incredible special occasion with these two very special people. For everyone who doesn't know me, my name is Steve. Anson and I have been best friends since 3rd grade. I knew we were going to be long life friends when we thought it would be a great idea to play the same exact role in the school play, Charlotte's Web. Growing up together, we continued to be boys, challenging each other from playing a variety of sports from soccer to racquetball, then staying up late into the night playing video games in Anson's basement. Some of my favorite memories were building a haunted house during Halloween in the driveway and helping the Kane family put up the lights during Christmas time, both being done without missing one detail. During college, we went different ways and had very different schedules, but always managed to reconnect and continue where we just left off. That's the thing about Anson. He always knows how to make time for his family and friends, regardless of what's going on in his life. He's one of the most genuine people that's in my life, and always concerned about others and wanting everyone around him to be happy. Anson is what you see is what you get. He's hands down one of the most upstanding guys that I know, and that's in my life. I haven't had the pleasure of knowing Lindsay as long, but for the short time I have spent with her, it's very easy to know she has the very similar qualities. I could not be happier for you two finding each other. It's very, very incredible to watch you two interact. It's almost like watching a Disney movie. Now, I thought I'd give you guys some advice on marriage, but being the long-time running bachelor I am, I did not feel my credentials gave me credit to do that. So I will leave you two with this quote. Marriage is not about finding a person you can live with. It's about finding the person you can live without, can't live without. So I want everybody to raise their glass. Here's to a lifetime of happiness and love for Anson and Lindsay. Here.
Well, first of all, thank you. And I truly want to say to everybody who has joined us this evening, family or families, friends, and special guests, welcome. My name is Paul, and I am the father of the bride, or in the words of Tevye, I am the papa. Finally got a chance to use that line. I'm just going to say a few words. I don't have a lot to say. My love is truly to the both of you. I have a few welcomes and a few other things I want to say. My words to Lindsay and Anson, and a toast as well. First, you have honored Karen and me by your presence here, and I want to thank you all for that. There are a few people that I specifically want to mention, and first and foremost is the one woman here tonight who is the center of my universe. This is the person who truly is my rock, my guiding light, and the person who always tells me when I'm wrong. But truly, she is my love. And it was about roughly 31 years ago tonight, within a couple of months, that we were getting married as well. Of course, I'm talking about my beautiful bride, Karen. Thank you, Karen. So while tonight you're celebrating your 0th wedding anniversary, we will soon be celebrating our 31st. I also want to mention, and Karen did in her welcome, she did mention those of you who have traveled great distances to join us, and that truly is special. And I want to just kind of reiterate that we do have guests from all over the country, from the East Coast, New York and Boston and Michigan and Phoenix and other areas. You've traveled great distances to be here, and I appreciate that. I especially want to thank those of you who traveled the farthest to be here, Thousand Oaks. Couldn't be a wedding without those people, so I appreciate that. And I also want to send a very warm and a special welcome to Tom and Nancy and the rest of the Canes. I am Karen and I are truly looking forward to our families growing closer and closer together over the years to come. My hope is that we have many opportunities to share many more wonderful events or just great times together. So looking forward to that. So welcome, especially to the Canes. As some of you know, I speak in front of groups for a living. I believe it or not, I actually talk to people. And I talk to large groups, I talk to small groups for a living all over the country. And as such, I'm usually not at a loss of what to say. I usually come up with something to say on the spot, and oftentimes I make things up in the moment. But tonight is different. Tonight is too important just to leave things to chance. I didn't want to just wing it, so to speak, because tonight means so much. So because of that, Lindsey and Anson, I hope you don't mind, I put a few words down that I'd like to, did I bring it? Oh, there. That I want to share with the two of you, because these are my thoughts. This hopefully expresses my feelings to the two of you. Lindsey, first of all, to you. As I look at you tonight, I can't help but reflect on the years that I've been lucky enough to watch you grow. From the moment you were born, you were the center of my world. And I've been in awe of you from that moment, and all of your successes, all of your life events, everything that you've gone through leading up to this moment has just reaffirmed the fact that I'm in love and in awe with you every day more and more and more. You're my big girl. You know, that's what I call you. You're my big girl. You're my delight, and you're one of my biggest sources of pride. And no matter what happens, you will always be that to me, every day. But tonight, as I watch you marry a wonderful man, I'm filled with joy. You and Anson are about to embark on a wonderful and exciting journey filled with love and happiness, one that I'm confident will only grow stronger and stronger over time. Anson, I'm truly most happy that Lindsey selected you to be her husband. There's nobody in this world who's a more perfect match for my daughter than you. But be careful, I knew her first. You're now, I welcome you into our family with open arms. In fact, you are now truly a part of this family. May the two of you always treat each other with love, compassion, understanding, respect, and kindness. Lindsey and Anson, I love you both. And remember, coming together was your beginning. Sharing together is your progress. Loving each other together will be your success. And so, honored family members, friends, and guests, on behalf of Karen and myself, I would like you to please raise your glass of champagne and join me in congratulating Anson and Lindsey in wishing them all the best for a long, happy, healthy, successful life together.
Yesterday, Yesterday, my wife Nancy, at the rehearsal dinner, played one of the most beautiful songs. It was called The Mother's Prayer, and she was saying, you know, as a mother, you dream for your son or your children, and you have this image of who they'll spend their life with. And many times those prayers are not answered in the way we thought they would be answered. And the journey is not a smooth one. In the case of Lindsey, her prayer was answered not just here, but here. It was like everything she could possibly have prayed for through his entire life was right there. He had found her, and she had found him. You know, and then Karen, in essence, saying the same thing about her dreams and her wishes for Lindsey, to find someone to share her life with and to go down. And it's true. So many of you don't realize that Lindsey and Anson actually didn't date prior to the first 1,000 hours of conversation. Who does that? I mean, sure, lawyers and other things, but they, so there's a few quotes I'm going to use because they're important to Lindsey and Anson, but this one isn't. This one was important to me. It is wrong to think that love comes from long companionship and persevering courtship. Well, that's kind of a strange thing. Love is the offspring of spiritual affinity, and unless that affinity is created in a moment, it will not be created for years or even generations. My wife and I, we waited 2 years to date. I fell in love with her sitting in a dorm room, not a dorm room, it was a cafeteria. She was dating my best friend. And I saw her and it was like, boom. Anson and Ashley was the same way. They saw each other and it was that affinity of the moment. And it didn't matter how long it took for that final connecting to occur, because it occurs in a moment. And I don't know how many of your love stories are that way, but I'll bet you a lot of them are that way. That when you met that person, it was just this instantaneous connection. You just knew. And it didn't matter how long it took. That was what it was for them. 1,000 hours over the phone. And then they had their date. Wow. This is not going the way it was supposed to go. Who creates individuals like this? Nancy? Karen? Eileen? Where's Eileen? Over there? People are not born to who they will become. They're nurtured into who they become. So Ashley and Lindsey are well-read in law, but they're also well-read in a couple other things. One is something called the Wheel of Time, and the other is something that you'll know. Here's the quote. It matters not what someone is born, but what they will grow to be. You guys know who that is? How many books of Harry Potter are there? That's one sentence. Okay. So They grew to become what they are here because of Nancy and because of Karen and Eileen and others. But what I want to share with you is something you guys may not realize. There's two other people here who are really critical to who they are. That's Rick and Jeff. Rick, stand up. Jeff, where are you? Stand up too. But they're here not as their boss. They're here because they love these two. And they helped these two become what they are on a daily basis. You have made flowers grow where I cultivated dust and stones. You know where that came from? Gotcha. W-O-T. Yeah. For those who don't, so I'm going to use a few things that most of you won't know. It's these two books. Wheel of Time. As Anson's father, I felt obligated to be part of his world. Do you know how many books there are of the Wheel of Time? There are 1,000 pages each. There's like, how many of them are there? 15. I read those 15 books. Phew. Okay, yeah. I'm speed it up. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Lindsey, I'll get up here. Dance with her and she will forgive much. Dance well and she will forgive anything. Okay, so we're dancing here tonight. And I want, Anson, remember that. Okay, so dancing. Now, the other thing Wheel of Time had to say was, men forget but never forgive. Women forgive but never forget. So you can dance and you can be forgiven, but she isn't going to forget. She will forgive. She won't forget. So that's my wisdom. You know, I had to go back. The last thing I wanted to share with you is that these two are unbelievably brilliant. Let me tell you how smart they are. They forward invested in the Cain family and in the Schindler family in the following way. Even though they have careers, they spent their time being involved in a heartfelt, genuine way with Adam's kids and his life, Aaron's kids and his life, with Ashley. They forward invested with Mel and Eileen's life. They each spent their precious extra time becoming so involved in each other's family that before the marriage they were part of each other's family. Who does that? That is creating your own future. It goes to another thing. We can't choose our fate, but we can choose others. And I thought about that. That's another one of those books quotes. What they were doing was choosing our fates. Who does that? These two do. They do it with insight. They do it with wisdom. They do it with thought, planning, forward investing, being selfless. And they did it as a team, not one driving the other. I am so honored, really, to be related to the two of them. And I'm just amazed. And So there was another saying about love. You know, we don't know what it is. We happen to like it a lot. No, we know what it is. It's right here. It's right there. And it's right here. It's their family. It's the Rick and Jeffs. It's all of us here. We know what love is. It's not a mystery. It's here. We see it. That's what we're doing here. I think love is a very known thing. There is no mystery. This is the whole essence of what this group is. So let's have a toast to Anson and Lindsey, who have catalyzed us to be here, to share in love with each other and them. And this whole world is a better place because of Anson and Lindsey. Thank you.
I guess you said what can make me feel this way, my girl, my girl, my girl, talking about my girl, my girl. I've got so much honey, the bees envy me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the trees. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, my girl, my girl, talking about my girl, my girl.
When I look back on my childhood days, I feel so blessed in so many ways. You gave your love with every smile, with every touch. Somehow I knew that you believed in me so much. In your eyes, I'd see a special love for me. In your heart, the trust you gave so easily. All that you inspired kept me reaching higher. In your eyes, I'd see the man I was meant to be. Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved. Love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate our time. Be sure this is our fate.
Thank you all so much for being here with us. It has been such an incredible day, from 5:15 in the morning to be surrounded with the most evident love and support and goodwill that we could ever hope for or imagine. We thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come celebrate us and with us, and we couldn't have asked for better. We've both been incredibly lucky in our upbringing and to have such loving family and friends, and we couldn't imagine anything better, so thank you. And on that trend of love and family, we wanted to do something special for my grandpa, who is turning 80 a week from today. So happy birthday
We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. Yeah. So keep dancing. Oh.